Today we're talking very basic probability and odds. So the formula for probability is the number of favorable outcomes divided by the total number of outcomes. You've seen this. If you're rolling a die and you're seeing what's the likelihood it rolls to a 3, the favorable outcomes would be how many 3s are on a die? 1. The total number of outcomes would be how many total sides are on the die. So it would be 1 over 6. Oh, here we go. I didn't even realize that was the first problem here. So if we are given a 6-sided die, it says P of 2. That means what's the probability of rolling a 2? So out of the 6 sides, how many of them are exactly a 2? 1 out of 6. And then you simplify it if you can, which you can't. So of the 6, what's the probability? It's going to be an even number. How many of the 6 sides are even? Well, obviously it'd be 3 of them. 3 over 6 simplifies to 1/2. Half are even, half are odds. It makes sense. Probability, it's going to be a number greater than 4. How many of the 6 sides are greater than 4? Well, you could have 5 or 6. That's 2 of the 6, which simplifies to 1/3. That's not bad. Suppose you have a bag of marbles, 3 red, 5 green, and 4 blue. So we have to figure out how many marbles that is altogether. We're going to need that as our denominator. 3 plus 5 is 8, plus 4 is 12. So our probability is going to start out of 12. Of those 12, how many of them are red? Well, 3 are red. So it'd be 3/12, which simplifies to 1/4. How many of them are not green? So a couple ways you could do it. You could do 12 minus the green, which is 5. That would give you 7. Or you can add anything that's not green, which is the 3 red plus the 4 blue. That would also give you 7. And you can't simplify 7/12, so that would be your final answer. Find the following probabilities for drawing a specific card from a 52-card deck. There's 4 different suits, 13 in each suit. If you didn't know that, you should play more cards. Come on! So of the 52, we want to know what's the probability we're going to get a club. Well, there's 13 in each suit, right? So 13 out of the 52. Also, you know there's 4 suits, right? And they're all the same amount. There's 13 in each of them. So a 4th of them are going to be clubs, a 4th are going to be hearts, a 4th of them are going to be spades, and a 4th of them are going to be whatever I didn't say, diamonds. So 13 out of 52 would simplify to 1/4. Of the 52 cards, how many of them are queens? Well, you have the queen of hearts, queen of diamonds, queen of clubs, queen of spades. So there's 4, which if you divide those both by 4, you have 1 of 13, which makes sense because of the 13 cards in the suit, 1 of them is a queen. Of the 52 cards, how many of those 52 cards are a king of hearts? There's only 1 of those. 1/52. And then we have odds. Odds are kind of like, it's not favorable outcomes out of the total. It's kind of like a versus. So we have the word Mississippi. What are the odds of choosing an I? So it's kind of like the I's. What is that? Oh gosh, no, get out of here. So it's kind of like the I's versus non-I's. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 total. Now, how many of those 11 are I's? There's 1, 2, 3, there's 4 I's. How many of them are not I's? Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you say, you put colons when you're doing odds. So 4 to 7 would be your odds. You're choosing an I 4 times, you're not choosing an I 7 times. If it's at what's the probability you're going to draw an I, you would say that's 4 out of there's 11 total. So it's a little different than finding probability, but it's very similar as well. What are the odds of choosing an S or a P? So we have to see how many of those are S's or P's. Here's our S's or P's versus not S's or P's. That looks crazy. All right, so how many S's or P's do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 S's or P's. If there's 11 total and 6 of them are S's or P's, that means 5 of them are not S's or P's. So it'd be 6 to 5. If given a 6-sided die, what are the odds of rolling a 3? How many 3s are there? There's 1. Versus how many things are not a 3? The other 5. So if they gave you the odds and they said, hey, convert that into the probability, you would have to add them up to see how many total things there are. So there's 1 out of 6, if they were to ask that. What are the odds of a number less than 2? How many sides on a 6-sided die? Here, I'll list them, just so we can have them as reference. Here's 6 numbers. How many of those are less than 2? Well, only 1 is less than 2. 5 of them are not less than 2. So same odds as this one. What are the odds against getting a 4? So that means like our 4s are going to go on the back end. Our non-4s are going here. So non-4s, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Versus the 4s, there's just 1 of them. Okay. Is that it? Nice.